high-sided, fractured my spine, broke 9 ribs. I had to learn to walk again. When they walked out, I said, he'll never race a bike again.
Legacy doesn't just come from winning. It comes from choosing to rise when everything says stop. On this island, legacy lives in the road. Hizzy set the standard. The rest of us grew up trying to follow his line.
So the first lap was 92 somewhere. Next practice was Monday morning. It took 5 miles an hour instantly. So
On the mountain course, every mile teaches you something if you listen.
You've got to go off around to pitch yourself against other people.
This island builds riders the hard way. Travels, setbacks, fatigue, failure. You grow up fast here. This isn't a story about racing. It's a story about refusing to quit, about legacy, about carrying on the spirit that Hizzy set for us.
that kept inspired me then, or drove me on to carry on.
This is a story of Ian McVeighty, a tale of friendships with TT legends, of a breakdown just 1 mile from his maiden mountain circuit victory, and of ultimately giving back to the TT travelling marshals. This is Ian's journey.
Let's get ready to rumble!
But I'm amazed at what a human being can actually do.
It's just so intense, a lot of emotion, a lot of adrenaline going, and it's the best thing you can ever do.
Coming splotting down Bray Hill.
Okay, so coffee with Conor, pod 4, is it number 4? Thanks for joining us, Ian.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so we're just this is all like obviously from my wonderful coffee, of course.
Yeah.
You can't
Very nice.
Yeah. So no, thanks for joining us. Just like we get interested people on who have it's like a crossover between bikes and business. So
Right.
obviously you've got big history in motorcycle racing, and just want to sort of touch on that and business. We've got a local business on the island.
Yeah.
So yeah, what got you into motorbikes?
How long have we got?
Forever.
Basically, I moved away back to York, where I was born. We moved here in 1971 when I was 6. Dad loved the bikes, so he come across when he was a kid, when he was a teenager with his mates on their bikes, and he just loved the Isle of Man. So met my mum, then we come on family holiday, and me and my brother arrived. So went back to York to learn what I do now, the fibrous mouldings, the end of the 80s, and basically it's expensive to run a car, or a van over there, because I was doing a bit of travelling. I had mates all over the country, so the cheapest form of transport was a bike. So I bought a brand new TZR 250 Yamaha, what was it, 2MA, something like that. Not the reverse cylinder, and not the V-twin. It's just a
collector's item nowadays.
Well, it would be now, yeah, but worth money. Yeah, they did it's a TDR 250 as well. It's more of a trail bike, which is apparently great for wheelies. So I bought that and used that to go up down the country, and then I came back to the TT in '89 with a couple of friends on bikes. And the day we went to go back, we went for one last lap, and one of the lads went to meet a friend, so there's just 2 of us on the bikes. Got to Ballycrane and said, "We'll just go easy." So yeah, go easy. So when we pulled off the lights, he shot off. So I thought, well, I'll have to go with him.
Yeah.
So I went after him and come to Doran's, and there was an oil tanker reversing into what was Ingham's old house on the right.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So he got through in the inside, and I know where to go. So I had to lay it down and went into the side of the oil tanker, oil wagon. To end up with bad bruising. I had a blood clot in my leg, which didn't realise at the time. But so the bike was quite badly damaged. So got back to York about 2 weeks later, and then because that bike was almost written off, I bought a KR1S.
Right.
So a lovely little bike. Then ended up coming back to the island. done a lot of work up and down the country for National Trust and stuff, and worked for my uncle. He'd a bit concerned with mouldings in York. So came back, parked the bike up, and sort of left it there. And somebody said one day, "What are you doing with your bike?" So I'm not really bothered. And I've never been a biker. That's the thing. I've never been somebody who rides bike on the road. So he said, "Well, do you go up to Derby and do the track day?" I used to get to use the bike and all that. So I was like, "Wow, yeah, give it a go." So that was 1990, 89, 90. So I did the track day. A couple of the newcomers, Gary Carswell was a newcomer then. Phil Hogg's cousin, Richard Hogg, he was on the RGV 250, so I had the K1S, and he lapped me. So I was like, for me, this is. Anyway, I thought about it. They said, "Well, just get your license and just do a season, see how you get on." So first race, I lapped Richard. So I thought, "Oh, this is all right. Okay, get a good end on you." That was kind of it. So that's how it started, really. That was.
Was that track that it wasn't on the hangers circuit, was it?
No. I did that once I rode round that, but that was they stopped pretty much after that. It must have been about 1990 they stopped that.
Yeah, because my dad often goes on about he was big into, he loved the hangers circuit before I went on to the actual airfield bit.
Yeah, it was loose.
Yeah.
What,
it's like just on a whole perimeter track, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So did you ever do like Derby Road?
Yeah, I did Derby Road. Yeah.
And how long did it take you to get from, say, just riding around Derby, Derby, to actually getting on the Derby National Track? Because that was quite locally. I was I suppose you had the Mirror Park races, didn't we? That was another one, but
yeah, it was. Yeah.
To get to do the Derby Road was quite a big thing. Again, I've never done the Derby Road, but
You loved it.
it was like
Brilliant.
I was told how great it was.
Yeah, that really was. I did that 1990. I got one of the best newcomer award for my first season, and then 91. Did you Derby Road 91? The first year. Then I went to Morwick Park.
Why did it go around there?
It looked a rare track.
Oh, it was horrible. It was,
It was just.
It started on the from if you come by the rugby pitches, heading back towards the swing bridge. So you go on the prom from there. The last sort of houses, if you like, the guest houses. So start on that straight, and then went down and turned first right again, and then chicane.
Yeah.
Into Morwick Park, then right again, and then right onto the prom again.
Oh, okay.
And it was sure
track then.
it was, yeah. I mean, the KOLS was all right on that, but I had some TZs, it was a waste of time. I think I had third gear.
Oh, okay.
There's a few clutches getting burnt out.
Oh God, yeah. But yeah, that was I had a big accident there. That was
right.
yeah. Practice with two or three practices, and it was the second or third practice, and come back onto the prom, high-sided, throughout in the hand, landed on the curb.
Oh.
So I broke my right leg in 5 places, fractured my spine, broke 9 ribs.
Bloody hell.
So yeah, it was a bit of a mess for a while.
You self-employed at this time?
Yeah,
Oh, right,
yeah, it was.
okay.
Yeah.
Really helpful.
Yeah, well, yeah. Luckily, I had that combined insurance, company American insurance, which paid out quite a lot.
Oh, okay.
So if you're in hospital, it pays out more. So I was in hospital for a month, so I got a good little.
They try to kick you out.
Probably,
No.
yeah, I was thinking I probably more being in hospital would have definitely been working. So,
Okay.
but yeah,
So that was Merrick Park. That's how long did it take you to recover from that?
it took a while. It was strange as it sounds when you get people with broken legs, and it happens to everybody all the time, doesn't it? But I had to learn to walk again.
Yeah.
Parallel bars and everything, the mirror at the end, and I still got to now remind myself how to walk. It's weird. That was 40 odd years ago, but 30 years ago. I got conscious to walk, which is it's really weird. But so yeah, I was off for off work for about 3 months, and then but again with the insurance policy, you got payments for being off work, and then it was partial disability. So I thought, well, I'm at a hospital, I'm walking around and that, so I'll go on, I won't try and con them.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I went on to the partial, but I didn't realise that you only got one payment on the partial.
Yeah.
So that was, I had to go back to work then. So I wasn't ready, but anyway, I had to get some money.
Yeah,
So,
back to work and
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
get stuck in again.
yeah.
But
But
you obviously moved here at this stage.
well, yeah, I moved back in
Yeah, yeah.
back in '89.
Yeah.
I came back in the end of '89 because 1990 was my first year racing.
And did your family come then? Because obviously I know your brother is here, but your folks are here as well.
Well, they were,
Yeah.
they've all gone.
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
And my brother died in July. But yeah, no, yeah, we came as a family and everyone stayed.
Yeah, right.
But
right.
yeah,
Yeah, you didn't come necessarily because of the TT or anything,
no,
or riding bikes.
no,
Yeah,
no. It's only because Dad liked the TT really, but yeah.
Yeah.
And after what was then the second crash there, which sounds nasty, was it intention still to get back on and get a new bike and carry, you know?
Do you know what? No, it was. I was late in hospital. I was people coming to see her and all that, and then Dave McGee and Ralph Sutcliffe, you know Ralph and
Yeah.
Mags, and has been a good friend for years. They came in to see me, and when they walked out, Mags told me months later. He said, "As we walked out, Ralph said he'll never race a bike again," because he said that was like a, you know, inspired me then or drove me on to carry on.
Yeah.
So that's when I bought TZ250 reverse cylinder. That's the one I did the newcomers round.
Also like 93 was that 93, I think.
91.
91.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Okay.
93 max. Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
but yeah, first one was 91 point.
Yeah, that was because the newcomers was a 1993 newcomers Max Grand Prix. wasn't it?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think so. Yeah.
But I rode the first rode that when I got that bike. I rode that Cherby Road. I was first because it was good for setting the bike up for the
Yeah.
TT course.
All the tractors are open ride.
Oh, it was great. Yeah, it was just yeah. But yeah, I really liked that. I really got with the bike there.
Because this jetting and everything's on two foot are so sensitive, aren't they? And
Yeah,
You
yeah,
have to get them so like dialed in.
yeah.
Because a big thing was they were prone to season, weren't they? If
Yeah.
you didn't get them, the
Yeah.
jetting and everything dialed in, and like
Yeah, piston seizures, yeah, it's or cranky. If it crank seize, obviously that's it. It's a lot
Yeah.
when you pull the clutch for piston seize. It's it
Yeah,
feels
yeah, the only thing I know about the season is, I believe you can hear it, but there's different types of seizing there.
yeah.
Oh, right.
If the crank goes, that's it.
Oh, right.
It just lets you off.
Oh, okay.
But no, on the pistons, it's it actually feels like somebody putting the back brake on.
yeah, you just
You know, it's like
steadily
it's
slip,
yeah,
haven't you?
yeah.
Right.
It's like shit, pull the clutch in, and
Right.
then
What's the time gap?
you don't get a lot.
Right.
Yeah, that's why you always see anybody at two-stroke.
The hands out.
Covering the clutch.
Oh, okay.
I still ride 4-strokes now with.
That's my two-stroke experience. Is I started out in two-strokes, but when I went to a 125, which I know it's hard to believe, 6'4", my dad, because he obviously raced two-strokes up until recently still does. He always told me to keep your finger on the clutch, and up until recently, before I started using a scooter brake on a superbike, you'd always see my finger on the back on the clutch lever.
Any photographs is always
Any
on
bike?
the clutch.
Any bike, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
It's
weird,
I
isn't
ride
it?
a two-stroke. It was just ingrained into
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Front brake, one finger. Still do that now. And then the clutch is always one finger, just in case.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's mad how these things stick with you, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Your brain gets trained, doesn't it? Yeah.
But yeah, Jamie Rowan on a TZ250.
Oh, it's ace. Yeah, I
Yeah.
loved it. Yeah.
I'm a bit jealous, to be honest.
Do you ever do roads like that?
No. So I think it finished a year before I went to the roads.
But you didn't race over here, did you? Because you.
No.
Well, I remember that I never heard of you. Obviously heard of you now. But you've done all your racing away, haven't you?
Yeah, we had to, because when I was, I think 12 going 13, the ECU changed the rules so you could. They used to use the governing body for motorcycle racing in the UK, and at that time you could be 15 or 16 to ride a 125 non-cassette gearbox. I think the word was, but they brought it down to 13. So of course I'm motocross on that stage locally.
Right.
I thought, all my Christmases have come at once here. I want to go road racing, and this has happened. So that's, but the local club, they didn't change their rules, which meant I had no option but to go off the island. I could do the race school, which is handy, don't get me wrong, but turned out to be a really expensive exercise for mum and dad and a couple of sponsors who wanted to help out. So yeah, we had no choice but to go off island, which probably didn't do me it did me a lot of good.
Yeah.
Because I think looking across every sport, in order to get better, you can't just stay in your local. You've got to go off island to pitch yourself against other people.
Yeah,
to get
different
better.
circuits and everything. Yeah.
We talk about in the biking where they take the kids away, push biking where they take the kids away, and it's like building that resilience, the travel, and they're 30, 40 on rough days on a boat, and then having to go race and they come back on the midnight boat, and it kind of builds something in you. Then just to tool the motorway for an hour with your parents, and then you're home for tea.
Makes you want it more.
Yeah, see how keen you are, isn't it? Really, yeah.
So the 93 newcomers comes round then, like what's the prep involved for that? Because I know two strokes being hellishly expensive to run as well.
Yeah.
So I imagine you'd be fairly limited to what you can do.
Yeah, and as a privateer, you've got a basic bike, haven't you? Really, can't afford trick parts and things, but it's double seizures, pistons, barrels. It was expensive, but I mean, I was lucky. I picked up a few decent sponsors. I got Padgett to help me out.
Oh, right,
Hizzy obviously came on board, and he sort of I opened a few doors as well, which helped for money as well. But Paramount City, double steam cylinders as it was, I did quite well out of sponsors, and so it didn't cost me a load of money, which was good, and I didn't have many seizures or things on that course. But I suppose you jet things safe.
Yeah.
To especially in practice week, but yeah, it was.
What was that first experience like? Was it morning practice as well? Back in the links, Thursday.
It wasn't morning practice. But first practice was a Saturday evening. Yeah, I'd gone.
So assuming back then, obviously, there's no introductions. You're not getting.
No,
there's getting not like the way it's structured now.
No, there's no TMs thing.
Start lines over there, mate. Crack on.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. There's no TMs. It's just you get out when you get out, and it'll be the same for you. It was your first lap. Did you do it? Was yours escorted or was you?
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
And I think I was behind Tony Duncan.
Right.
I think.
I mean, it's speed controlled, isn't it? They call it now, but it must be hard to go that slow because isn't it? You know where you're going anyway, don't you? Really, isn't it? It's just ticking a box. But I know it's for safety and everything now. That's why they've got to do it. But for me, it was like the first Saturday evening. Yeah, head off Danbury Hill. I couldn't stop laughing. I was like, until I got to Crosby, it was just coming into Snugborough. It's still on the left-hand side of the road. You can't get that into that thing into your head that you can use on the road. First night, like I said, Steve, will you take me around? So he said, well, go out on your own on Saturday, and I'll take you around on Sunday, just go in the car and we'll go through it. So I think my first lap was 93 or 92, 93, something like that. And then we're on the Sunday in the car. He showed me things he does and said, look, you pick out this one you want, don't, flying top around the 33rd probably isn't a great thing to do in your first Grand so the next practice was Monday morning, and I did 90, I think it was 96, 97. So I picked up 5 mile an hour instantly. So I just had steady practice week. I wanted to learn, I didn't want to. It's hard when you're the local, isn't it? It's like all these lads from across coming on, you feel you got something to prove in a way. But I just did my own thing and sort of waited for race day. But come race day, we had I got a 4-lap tank I borrowed from Jeff Rowe in Lexi. He sponsored Chris Camel, Paul Rowe's dad, and I got we used it in practice. We didn't fill it. We never filled it. So it must have been to towards or the very end of practice week, got hold of it, and it had done 4 laps the year before, and the lad had won on it, and it had enough fuel left in it to get to Glen Helen, you know,
Bloody hell.
a couple of litres. So, but it was a really hot day for my race, so and I went a lot quicker than he'd done the year before. So it was one of those, we didn't put any fuel in the filler because we weren't planning to stop.
Yeah.
So, but first lap down to Quarterbridge, it was like all your braking points change.
Because of the weight.
Yeah. So for the first lap, it was a nightmare to ride just everywhere. I just didn't want to stop. So after the first lap, it started to get a bit lighter, and I think it was third, something at the end of the first lap, third or fourth. Then end of the second lap, I was joint leader with the lad who won in the end. So obviously it all came to me then. You know, they got lighter, and it was just, so I'd saved 40 seconds in the pits. And then come the third lap, I was like, oh God. I was that far. I think it was 90 seconds ahead of us. And I wanted to stop, you know, but I'm pretty sure there was no fuel.
Yeah.
We hadn't
It's all playing in your head.
Yeah. Have we got this fuel in there? Did they put any in just in case, you know? And I thought about coming in, just if there wasn't, I could still pull off and still have that bit of lead. So I backed off anyway. As much as I thought, I backed off, but obviously coming over the mountains, everyone's waving programs and all, aren't they? You know, and I got coming that signpost, it started spluttering.
Oh,
I
Jesus.
was like, oh no. So I coasted down to Governor's, right into the dip, and coming out of the dip, just tried to choke because you get a bit more out of the choke, but there was nothing left. So, so pushed from the bottom of the dip, finished 6th. So it wasn't so bad. It was. I got fastest lap of the race. I got something out of it, I suppose. But,
Yeah.
You know, it's,
That would have been some feat had that have come off.
yeah,
you know.
yeah. It's funny because I was talking to one of the other lads who was in that race, another local lad, Dave Purvis, and he come to me after the race and he said, I'm glad you broke down. Because they ran out of fuel. I said, what do you mean? I said, he said, if you'd have finished, he said, only you and the guy who was second at the time would have got silver replicas.
Oh, because you're so far ahead.
So so it brought the whole thing back down, and so
The newcomer race back then would have been like bikes aplenty, not scratching for entry. In its latter sort of years, I
died off.
talking out to.
Yeah,
But it was a massive race back in the day. Wasn't
it was. Yeah.
And it's quite a big thing, and it's almost a shame it's not there. But I understand why it's not there. But I've watched a good few of them over the years, and because it was a newcomers B, wasn't it? I think
C.
C.
Yeah, the 600s was the B and the 750s were the A.
Ah, okay. But yeah, 2 strokes was
Yeah,
proper.
they were great. They were great. Yeah.
Can you smell, I presume, because there was always a smell off them, wasn't there? Like as in...
There is a good side of the road. Yeah, the half gas. Yeah,
Yeah,
the half gas. Yeah, and the oil.
What took you to 250? Is that just because the early bikes you bought were that size, or
Well,
was it because you...
I mean, no.
Was that age group?
Yeah, I was like, what then? No, to me, like growing up as a kid, we lived in Whitehall Drive when we first moved here, and Cyprus Corner was close and Bedstead, you know, Governor's Bridge and everything. So, in the mornings, me and my brother used to get woken up with the bikes, especially at the Manx, more so with the 4-strokes and the Air Mackeys and all that sort of thing. And so we'd get dressed, go up and watch practices. And to me, 250s were, well, that's what they were back then, wasn't it? Especially with the race bikes. That was, that was what that's.
Would they be more expensive to run in the day than picking up a 650 or whatever? Was all matching up.
650 now or more than it bounced on the it's but I mean 95 in the 94 beginning of 95 I can't remember. He was chatting in the winter about the next year and everything, and Steve said, look, he said, you're going to need to go with a 600. So I was like, I'm not riding a road bike. He said, that's what it was for me. And he said, well, that's the way it's going to go. Yeah, but, yeah. I want to race racing bikes. I don't want to race road bikes.
Yeah.
And it kind of, now for me, I don't even watch TT anymore. I've watched since I'm back to as a gamble. Because it's all road bikes. It's just,
So then in your mind, I wouldn't go through, but there's this distinguish between,
you've got to rate, like I said before about jetting and everything. It's like one race out of 100, you might have the jetting spot on, and there's no feeling like racing a 250 or 2-stroke when it's running great. When you don't, going back again.
Away on the clutch.
But but going back again to 95, just a junior on lightweight. Bad practice week, and then come race week, or race day, to jet and everything, and it felt like an absolute rocket ship. That was the V-twin, V-twin, the Spondon frame though.
Spondon,
yeah,
like
that's it wasn't the ideal thing for Andy because there's no flex in the frame, and it kept snapping steering dampers.
Oh, right.
So, but that morning, set off and it was like, oh God, this is fast. This is feeling really good. Come over the wagon horse, it was vertical. Go down into Grieper Castle, change down one for the left, and next thing, feel the back brake coming on, so I can see, so pull clutch in. Freewheeled, got off the left of the Petrie Cottage, and then pushed it up, just up on the right side in the entrance to the Weiss Grieper Castle. And the guy behind me only come past me so it's 10 seconds we started. So he only came past me once, put the bike against the wall. So I pulled time out on that already, but that was the thing of a bike that's...
It's on the edge a little.
Yeah.
Like,
And that was always a fine line if you get the, because it's a season because you don't mix the fuel and the stuff. There's a number of reasons.
it's weather related as well, am I right?
Yeah, it's, yeah.
Temperature.
You get it singing, but then it's a fine line to then see it.
Yeah, it's, I mean, if it's cool, like morning practice, you put tape on the radiator
Okay.
to keep heat.
Oh, okay.
And then if it gets warm, you can stop and pull a strip or two off or whatever. So there is a lot to it to race the 2-stroke.
Yeah.
You make
the
it
road
safe,
office.
it goes slower, doesn't it? So you like
Yeah.
too rich.
Yeah,
It's just
it's more oil.
Fine.
It's,
which is part like I can relate about 2-strokes going away and the appeal of going 4-stroke not being as attractive. I get it, because I'd be a proper 2-stroke fan. At heart, I'm a 2-stroke fan because that's what I started out on. And your day, everyone was on 2-stroke pretty much.
Yeah.
But the sports evolved and everything's going 4-strokes. You have to move with the times, so you can't. For me in my era now, it's all 4-stroke, and I have to go 4-stroke. I've had the pleasure around the 500.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Twice around here. That was
classic.
For the Paget's, and that was unreal. I only rode it twice, and twice at the classic TT. Unreal.
Maybe people listen watching. Whose bike would have that been in the day?
I couldn't tell you who exactly, but it'd have been an ex Grand Prix bike.
Okay.
From the world GPs back in the day.
What do we define as
Was it a rock?
89?
It was early 90s.
Okay.
Yeah. Early 90s, I'm sure. I want to say 94, I think, but I could be well wrong. But no matter what year it was a pucker race. Like it was, you see, you're laughing going down the road. It was unbelievable to ride. Like a childhood sort of dream. Never thought I'd actually get to ride one of these things, and thankfully got the opportunity to do it. But you had to, to get around for 2 laps, the fuel tank was quite big on it. I think it held like 32 litres of fuel, and you could actually feel it. You feel the weight of it. And of course, I'm sat on a 6'4" frame, not ideal, and we had to adjust me to get the bike to get me sat on it.
Yeah.
If only we could adjust me. It was some experience, like, and
Are they? I assume because obviously suspension is evolved and moved on massively.
Yeah.
So if I get on an old push bike, 20 years old, I'm like, how do we survive on this?
Yeah.
Undercarriage is killing me. Again,
Yeah.
just that I'm only up for body. I presume when you get on those things, they're 30 years old. As much as enjoyable as they are,
Well,
it must be hard to turn on it and just more.
I mean, no, I think they're not. They're just a pleasure ride. You can tell they're a proper Grand Prix bike. To ride on a circuit must have been incredible, you know. But everything's, and more or less every classic superbike that's on the grid today, it's got modern wheels, it's got modern suspension.
Oh,
It's all
yeah,
up
yeah.
to date, it's safe, you know.
Yeah, okay.
But you do get a true feel of how the bike, you know, would have been in its day.
Yeah.
Proper things. But
The
yeah,
power band isn't as well. I mean, the power band of the 500 must be pulling your arms off.
Yeah.
I think we only have everywhere, I imagine.
it was just a lovely talky bike. And I Bruce did 127 odd on it. It was an incredible lap. And I did 24 something. So I was a good chunk away from him, but he's like, I'm not going to say half the size of me. he's a good bit shorter than me.
And he's a two-stroke man.
He's a two-stroke man. That's what he made his debut on the TT course on. I was a TZ 250.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
And just a proper two-stroke rider. An amazing rider at that. Did you ever race against Bruce?
No.
No. Just a...
I think he started when I was finishing. I finished in 96.
Right.
Something around when then he'd sort of appeared.
So 96 turns up then. Sorry to cut
Oh,
you
yeah.
in there. Yeah. Is that the transition over to Marshall and the TM?
No, 96 was my last year racing. But it wasn't like great. I kept the TZ, I kept the spun framed TZ. I should have learned from the year before really, but I was kind of knew I was coming to an end with it all, you know. So I thought just do one more year, and it was 96 was a bad year in general for fatalities, not the TT but all everywhere really. But talk about jetting before that was, we only found out on the Friday night practice week, all practice week, I didn't get a lap in. We had a wrongly sized jet, so it was written up wrong. So every time I got full throttle, I just go bleh. So when I found out coming up Belgian or something, it was like, so we get as far as Crosby Crossroads each time, and it gets you down, doesn't it? When you keep from trouble, it's you know you can't get around this. And we found out that we tried everything, we changed everything on the thing, and found out in the end it was the jet was marked up wrong. So Friday morning practice, I held back till everyone had set off, and it was me and Nick Loftus, and Nick was a friend, you know, he'd known Mick for a good few years. It's like a circus racing, isn't it? You get to know everybody, and it's like you go to Scarborough North West, and you're all together at a circus, and then one event you turn up and somebody's not there, and that was the way it was back then. It was again, racing two strokes was a lot more dangerous, wasn't it? And one thing and another. But so me and Mick waited back, and we sat just chatting while bikes warmed up. Mine warmed up first, so I sat off, and I got as far as Crosby Crossroads again, parked it all, and I went across the road, and Mick came too, and he gave me the thumbs up, so yeah, all right. So Brendan Powell, the bike and everything, it was his bike from the previous years. That was his bike he used at short circuits, Super Cups and things. So he come pick me up, took the bike back to the workshop, went back to bed. You did back then in the morning practices, you get a couple of hours before, go back to the garage to work on bikes again. I was just getting into bed, and the phone rang, and it was Peter Neal from the grandstand. It was his wife Brenda, who used to live next door to further down the road when we first moved over here. And Brenda said, I've got some bad news. Before you hear from anybody else, Mick was killed this morning. So, you know, your head goes, and it's like, so that race day on the Monday, got to line, and Linda said, "Do you want to go?" I said, "We've come this far this week, so you know, I'll just do as we did the race." But I was all over the place. You know, it was all over. My head was shouldn't have started really, but so last lap was just, I don't know much about it. It was just a bit of a blur. Anyway, we got back to the grandstand, and when I got off the bike, said, "Dylan, that's me done. I'm finished." So Kipper Kilp was there. Kipper said, he said, "I heard you saying you finished." I said, "Yeah, that's me." So he said, "Would you be interested in me at TM?" So I was like, "Well, you never even noticed them. I didn't even know there was TMs back then."
Right.
You know, it's like, unless you need one.
Yeah.
You know, you don't stop at the place where they are. I didn't even. So I said, "Well, maybe possibly. I'll give it a bit of thought." But so he said, "Well, just bear in mind, and you know, we'll get back in touch with you when there's the time comes when somebody retires or for whatever reason." So, so yeah, that was the introduction sort of thing, wasn't it, TM? But so I didn't start TM until 2020. So I put in as a reserve, but I got a few laps, a few sessions, because I think it was 2020. Jim Hunter, so Karen had one of their kids, so he was obviously
jumping in at hospital.
Yeah. So although I did see him in Glenvine a few practice sessions, he was stuck on the hedge. That's my bike.
What is a TM, or what's the role?
Oh, sorry, traveller marshal. So effectively, if there's an incident, TM gets radioed and sent through to wherever it is, and you deal with the scene.
Do you have any medic training for that?
Yeah. We did it's basic paramedic training, I suppose. So they refresh you every year, and but you're there, you do what you can until the AMED arrive, and then they're usually within 5 minutes, and you get in there. They're pretty quick to get there as well. But
so how many are out on course or around at the time then?
The norm is 7, but we had 8 at one point. So we had 7 on a reserve, but they decided after a while it wasn't fair having somebody who's the reserve just sat there and then not getting used. So we used 8 for a year, about 2 or 3 years, I think it was. So yeah, basically grandstand, Ballacrane, Douglas Road Corner, Kirk Michael, Sulby Bridge, Holland Square. Was a gooseneck. That was the extra one, was gooseneck. It was a bungalow. It would have been bungalow when you were racing then as well. It's since been moved to the Brandywell. It's not Brandywell. It's Brandywell. And then there was 2.
And they just move around and sick.
Well, we used to get moved a lot. It was great back then, because you got bike time, you got a chance to get dialed in a bit and all that. You need time on a bike, but we used to. It was always like a bit of a standard joke with. They keep us at the same points for us. I was always at Sulby Bridge, so bearing in mind you set off on cold tyres when you get moved on, cold engine, cold tyres, to move on to Parliament Square for me. So the last bike on the road, on the grid, the TM from the grandstand would follow the last man to Ballacrane. Then he stopped Ballacrane, move on to Douglas Road, go on to Douglas Road Corner, on to Sulby Bridge. So Jim was Douglas Road Corner, and I was Sulby Bridge. So it always worked out that the leaders on the road were just after, and Jim came to me. So it's like I just to set off when they come. So they're the second lap on slicks, and I'm on the cold tyres.
On the pipe.
So it was like, it was horrible.
See, actually, because I assume now they try not to mix the one
They don't really much anymore. No, it's only.
But then you might end up getting caught in between riders. And
yeah, but you do. That's what happens. Yes, you know, the leaders got to be coming, and you've got to go. But if they see you, they know that it's in a race. They know that you're going to something. It also kind of makes them aware that it's a flag pretty soon.
Right.
It's worth mentioning though, these TMs can motor. Like you guys, man, on track. Because I've been sat at the side of the road, broken down the odd time, you see a TM go by trucking. You have to, don't you?
You do, yeah.
Safely, obviously. But
yeah, I mean that was the thing for the job, was that you've got to lap round here at a decent speed to get invited to be in TM. You only get invited, so
And because of that, most TMs, or if not all, then are ex-racers.
They're all ex races, yeah. Either Max Grand Prix or Max Grand Prix and TTs.
Obviously, you get given bikes to use. Were you like, could I just put my 250 and paint it?
Yeah.
I'm one of these modern bikes.
Well, do you know what? That was the first thing for me. The first time I rode, it was at Fireblade in 2020, and it was like, it's so easy to ride. Only
Yeah.
you know, forced up. It's like they pull in any gear. You know, it's, I mean the one. The blades now, I suppose, the BMWs are saying that 100 mile an hour first gear only.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. The gears.
It's absolutely mental. But yes, I just found it so easy to ride. But the only other time I'd ridden a four-stroke was after I broke my leg and back and everything. It was the following year, so it'd been 1992. It was a practice day up at Derby. It was in the wet, and I'd gone up there. Richard Neen was on was on 1,000X up Yamaha, and he said, "Do you want to go out do a few laps on that?" So I was like, "Yeah, go on." But like in the wet, it's like back ends all over the place. It was just like, but I did enjoy riding it, you know. So just give me a bit of an insight into it. But yeah, the TM bikes, they were great.
Yeah.
That's a quick question. And I don't want to bring them down, but obviously losing someone like Mick. And I know I have recollection of a conversation with him many, many years ago. Because Lee Pullum was a friend of yours. Was it Lee Pullum?
Yeah.
A friend of yours.
Yeah, he died in 96 as well.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Like, had you, prior to Mick's situation, had that been losing friends? Does it take a toll on you? I mean, I assume it must.
Yeah, it does, yeah. Yeah. You'll be the same, Conor, I suppose. It always happens to somebody else, doesn't it? You know, you think it's not going to happen to me. It's always going to happen to somebody else. But well, you had your accident as well, so you know you were very lucky. But yeah, that's where a lot more people got killed back then, and it does. It's that year, my last year, 96. There was 9 people I knew. You know, some not great friends, but people I knew. 9 got killed that year. So that's what kind of, you know, did me something. But once I decided after the TT in 96, that was me. But Lee got killed in July in Spa.
Yeah.
So,
The endurance event, wasn't it?
yeah.
Another great rider.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, great rider and absolutely brilliant, fun person. He was just, just. So was Mick Lofthouse. Mick was, you know, we used to go out drinking. Got practice, then you go out at night. You know, I remember night in 95 or 96. It was 96. We were in what was it called in the middle of the street? Casey's, was it?
Yeah, Casey's, yeah.
We were in
Simon Tony.
Before
Oh
my
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Before my time.
Yeah, I mean, me with all these top like CT lads at Hizzy, Lee Pullum, Mick Lofthouse, Simon Beck. You know, it was just, but they were all brilliant lads, and it was great fun.
Was Phil Miller that year? Was that the year with the...
Phil Miller was 89. I
Oh,
think.
was it that one ago?
Yeah.
Henshaw and that. They were the same.
Yeah,
I think,
yeah.
now, right? That far back.
Yeah.
So I always remember then, because they were production bikes there on one, and I always remember we had a lad who used to use our garage, and he'd done the TT for a couple of years. He was quick, he won newcomers or the fastest newcomer in the TT, and it must have been earlier on. And I just remember around that time, it was these production bikes were the Durex things, weren't they?
Yeah.
Written Road and stuff.
That's
so
right,
it was
yeah.
just wild.
Yeah. They weren't in handle very well, I don't think they. They were. Did Phil not have? Did he have broken ribs? I think he had broken ribs from the crash somewhere else. It was Northwest, maybe.
Right.
So he maybe shouldn't have been. Riding, but yeah, he was unlucky there, wasn't he? He was
Brutal sport.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
You mentioned Steve Hislop, obviously close friend. Like as a kid, when I was growing up, like I've got like memories of stood at May Hill on the exit of May Hill, watching him and Carl Fogarty come round on the RVF.
Oh yeah.
750s.
Yeah.
On the back wheel together on the road, and stand out memory of mine. Obviously, two class riders. So how, if you don't mind me asking, like, what was the connection with Steve Hislop?
Well, just go back quickly, just back to the RVFs before I get that out. Remember Steve said the bikes came, they were in crates, they come out the crates, and he said to Foggy, you pick which bike you want. So the mind game started straight away.
All right.
So Foggy picked his, and then obviously Hizzy just, you know, he blitzed him, didn't he? He was,
The number 11.
it was, yeah.
11 and 8, I think.
Yeah, it was, yeah. But yeah, after my accident, I was off work for a while, obviously, so I had nothing to do, so I just got Paget's down in Victoria Road. And a mutual friend of ours, Jeff Henthorne, you know Jeff?
Know the name,
Yeah. Jeff was a manager for Paget, so Hizzy was seeing Jeff's sister at the time, so they just split up, but I'd split up with my girlfriend at the time as well, through the accident, really. So I go in there, and one day Hizzy came in to see Jeff as well, so we got chatting, and he said, oh, you've just put my girlfriend off, just put mine as well. So he said, oh, do you want to go out for a beer then? So I said, yeah. So went out for a beer one night, and that was it. So just got on really, really well. Just a lot of stories.
Yeah.
It's probably not saying here. But yeah, no, he's great guys, absolutely.
Nice caliber on his bike.
Yeah,
like
he was. He just could play, couldn't he?
Special man, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Bloody
yeah.
hell. I was only a kid back when I was watching, but you just an absolute awe. Watching this guy, obviously, was Joey, he was Foggy, and a lot of other lads, Trevor Nation.
Yeah.
All them lads. Pumped into Trevor, actually, the classic this year. Just, again, just like that. All these guys are, you knew.
Yeah.
Quite special people, obviously, and yeah, I bet there's some mega stories.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, one's fucking can't tell all this, suppose. It would have been 1994, the RC45.
Oh yeah.
So that year, Honda didn't bring vans to transport bikes from wherever. It was Quiggins Yard at the time, which is now the road that goes to Tesco, back of is there a line for life there?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that was Quiggins garage for all the vehicles and staff vehicles. But it was a massive big garage, went down into it, and so we used my van for Steve's two bikes. Callum he had something sorted, and Joey garaged round at Port Beatty's, got the key, garage there. But he'd always garaged there. So first practice, got back to the garage, and McCallum, he's just sort of chatting, and Mick Bodis and Dave Wells were the sidecar crew, so they were already out, or still out. So it was just me, Hizzy, and McCallum, and McCallum was mechanic, and just talking. And then Hizzy done 124 straight out, and McCallum did 120 or something, so he'd broken them straight away. Anyway, so stood there talking, and next thing, Joey appears through the door. It's like that thing of the light, and then this fellow stood in the door, and I've always remember that both of them looked at him, and the look was like, massive respect, but he was like the slower out of the three of them there, because he's getting on a bit, wasn't he? And anyway, that look that they gave him, I was like, God, what, you're better than him, but it's that thing of respect, like I say. Yeah. So anyway, Steve says to him, so what do you think? He said, I can't ride that. He said, if I can't get to grips with it by the middle of practice week, I'll ride my RC30. So yeah, it was, and then the Saturday morning Formula One race, Steve said, right, let's get the bikes in the van, go up to Douglas Head and stretch the chain. And
but that dies.
Yeah. So I took my camera. I was only one with a bit of film then. So there's dog walkers and they were like, so I took a lot of photographs. I lost the film.
Oh.
So, you know, that photographs of that, the RC45 on
Yeah.
Marine Drive.
Marine Drive,
Yeah, would have been ace, but
Good memories of
yeah, yeah,
last memory.
yeah.
Oh,
Got
you
to ride it. Sorry, go on.
go on, you go.
Being like a child watching my heroes racing, I was fast forward to 2007 Ulster Grand Prix. I was riding for an Northern Irish team, Millsport Motorcycles, and their shop is like directly opposite Joey's bar. So when I was over there for quite a while, I frequented it a couple of times.
As you do.
And the Ulster rolled round, and the Dunlop family asked me if I fancy riding Joey's RC45 in a parade around the Ulster track. I was like, oh,
Brilliant.
yeah, I'll have some of that.
Yeah.
Just I couldn't believe if I'd actually riding my hero's bike.
Yeah.
Mad. But so those RC45s were just, I appreciate, probably not their most ideal bikes at the time for some riders, but they were pucker, weren't they?
Oh, yeah,
like
they were. Yeah.
megabits a kid.
Yeah. Yeah. It's,
Speaking of Joey, then you were telling us a story before we came on air about lining up on the start practice.
oh, yeah.
Tell us that story.
Yeah. That was a Thursday afternoon in '95. You don't when you put onto the road, you don't know when you
Just when you go
back
out
about.
pairs.
Yeah, when you need to realise when it gets to like 6 or 8 in front of you that who's next to you. So I looked across and there was Joey. So I knew that he didn't in practice. He didn't set off quick. He'd stretch his legs. He'd get off the line. He'd stretch his legs and then get into it. So I thought I'm going to go as quick as I can and see how far ahead I can get, and then try and sit in behind him. So got to Union Mills and he's behind me. I heard him there coming out past the garage. He comes past me, and I thought I'll just sit in behind him. So did a slipstream and he just went.
Disappeared.
And so again, that kind of made me realise that you're never going to achieve anything else as a privateer on a privateer bike. The Works Honda was just so much quicker, and you flat out from Union Mills to Creeper Castle. That's a long time. So you on that small stretch of circuit, you're losing so much time. So over 4 laps, it's a lot, isn't it?
Did you do much racing when it was wet and damp? Because obviously back then you just fire you out, didn't they?
Yeah, no, I did a few practice and I did a race in the wet. I can't remember now.
You ever race like every year?
I've had a
Do by then.
damp race. It's actually my first TT podium in 09 in super sport race. And some places it was wet. We're on intermediate tyres, but then the track, because it's such a long lap, it's drying all the time.
Yeah.
The weather's changing, it's getting hotter. And by the end of the race, it was, I'd say 95% dry. But at the start of it was like arse-clenchingly sort of unnerving,
Yeah. So it didn't rain again during the race.
Didn't rain, no.
So everything's drying up.
And that's for people watching this, that's what people don't, if not being to the TT, they don't appreciate how much of an impact the weather actually has on the event and how different it can be from one end of the track or one side of the track to the other.
Yeah.
I think it's at 09 and we were sat in the truck and it's, sun's cracking pavement. And my mate Dave came from Cronkovadi and he looked like he just crawled out of the sea.
No.
Soaking.
Yeah.
And it's just,
Can't believe it, can
you
you?
cannot believe, and this all gets factored into. So whenever organisers are making real difficult decisions whether these races are going or not, it's what's the current conditions? Is it going to piss down? As when these boys are out doing a 4-lap race.
Yeah.
Such that the challenges are unbelievable. It's not just riding the bike, is it?
No, it isn't. No.
I don't know.
But you'd think it in the wet, as a privateer, you've got a bit more of a chance.
Yeah.
Because the wet's a leveler, isn't it?
Yeah,
if you take a few more chances, it's got a bit more of a chance of getting a bit of a result. But Joey was good in the wet as well. So
Yeah.
That's,
The real wet race. I mean, it was torrential rain, wasn't it?
that's what it was. Yeah.
It was absolutely blitzing.
It was foggy on the mountain as well. I did that one when you
Yeah.
jumped on 2.5.
250.
Yeah.
Right.
I was sat on the right with my dad Billy, just on the right after Ramsey Airpin, and we just pissed it down all day. It was horrible.
Yeah.
Even took, but you just had to go and watch. Had to. It was
Yeah, yeah.
It was like a religion in our house. You have to go and watch the TT. It's just ace. So yeah, good
Yeah.
memories.
Yeah.
Did you go and watch Steve right away when he went to short circuit?
Yeah, I went a few times with him. Been to Knockhill and Knockhill and Duxton and Donington. But again, it's that the practice is BSB. Is once you've seen a practice, you've seen the race. It's like it's just it. So I'd spend most of the time just sat alone, just waiting for barbecue at night. But yeah, no, we had a few road trips, and I did some really good laughs. We went to Knockhill. We got there. We were first up there, and he was riding for. I can't remember, riding the Kawasaki, Nemesis Kawasaki. Roger Marshall was his team manager, if you like. So we got there. We said, might as well watch the motorhome while we're here. So Roger's off the other side, me is the other side. So we're talking as we're washing it. And I said, so Roger, did you ever do the TT? He's there off his practice. Obviously, he can't see us, and he's going, yeah, of course I did. I finished like did one nice. Did he win one? Obviously, won one.
I can't remember. I don't know.
He was always up there. He's always like top 3 or top 5. But yeah,
Why did it look?
yeah. It's good.
Hizzy was phenomenal on the tracks, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Holy.
yeah.
He was.
If it had to be right,
Phenomenal.
but it was yeah.
Was at one point he was a fastest ever solo lap around Donington Park
Yeah, he beat
in a World
Rossi's time, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was on the motor.
World Superbikes.
Yeah,
As a wild card, wasn't it? For
it was on Birdies.
yeah.
Just, I mean, you can say that,
Yeah.
Did he finish racing when he had his accident?
Well, no, he was gonna go. He lined up to go and ride for AIM. What's his name?
Oh, Alistair.
Flanagan, yeah. So he's going to get something sorted for that, but yeah, obviously had to do that. But yeah, it was. I mean, that was a strange thing as well, because I hadn't seen him for a month, maybe 6 weeks, and he kept messaging me. So I've got when his book, his book had come out. So he said, "Pop round, so I've got a book for you." So yeah, I'll get round anyway. But by the time I went round, he'd given all the ones he had at home, he'd given them away. So he said, I've just got the one I've read. So he said, you can have that. I've got one. And I said, well, while I'm here, so they bought this. It was a mini champs monster mob Ducati, die-cast thing, a lovely little model.
Like a replica bike?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I said, I bought this, and he said, I've just come back from mini champs. I've just signed 500 of them.
Bloody hell.
So he said, I've signed them all on the same side. So he said, I'll sign yours on the opposite side. So it's unique. So I'm gonna give that to the boys. I'll give it to them now. They've got that. But we were chatting. He said, I'm going away. I'm gonna go back to Hoyk. Do you fancy coming? I was like, I don't want to go in the helicopter. He asked me a few times to take me up in the helicopter. I never. Haven't put people in them. As a TM, I just don't like helicopters. I've heard that it's like the motion of them makes you sick. And I'm not good with roller coasters and things like that. So I just didn't want to go in, but so I didn't go. But yeah, it was I thought what we were talking about. Whatever it was, I can't remember what we were talking about. But when I left, I remember getting in the car and sitting outside and thinking, that was weird. And that was the last time I saw him. It was yeah, it was freak accident. Well, was that a freak accident? We don't know, but they reckon there's RAF, Chinooks and things in the area at the time, and jets. So, but yeah, the Ministry of Defence will never see what really happened, really. But yeah,
What year was that then?
2004. Yeah.
About 21 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's sad, isn't it?
Yeah. To do
Legend, didn't he?
Yeah, to do everything he'd done and then to go like that, it's like the cray, isn't it? Same thing. And
See about his daughter today. I was reading on BBC News. She's just had to do her first rally.
was she?
I saw that.
On the anniversary of his, either his winning the championship or his passing or his first rally. I can't quite remember. It's on the anniversary, something really relatable.
Right, yes.
Yeah, she's just about to do her first. I'm assuming it's world. I don't know, but yeah, just
Yeah,
saw it as a
yeah.
BBC headline.
Yeah. But go back to Hizzy thing again. That would just be for when he won on the Northern, and obviously Foggy wasn't too happy, as he never is. So a couple of weeks later, he'd gone to Donington the week after, or 2 weeks later, and when he came back, he said, you know, the weirdest thing, he said, walking down pit lane at Donington, he said, nobody else about. He said, I was walking one way, Foggy coming the other way, and he said, I was back to start talking. He said, Foggy just looked the other way, walked straight past it.
Wow.
Just blind him.
Annoyed.
Yeah, but that even at the news of the world, that after that race was the best race, probably one of the best races ever in the TT, wasn't it? And in the news of the world, Foggy's interview was like the other guy's bike was quicker. The other guy never mentioned it by name.
Oh,
You know,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
like.
Probably the way to try and deal with the annoyance, I guess, because he's competitive, isn't he?
Yeah, well, yeah. If let's see, I have very few friends in racing. He's
It's that edge, isn't it? It's like trying to have that competitive edge on.
yeah,
She's the
line
same.
games and things.
It's up across the board, don't it?
Yeah.
Any sport.
Yeah.
Yeah, you try and break people down before you.
Yeah.
I would suppose.
He said that earlier,
Yeah, I
didn't
think
he? Yeah.
the LVFs. Yeah.
I mean, that's a hell of a way to try and get a competitive edge, obviously.
Oh, isn't it? But yeah, yeah.
I only met Steve Hislop once, and I was at a function, and I was introduced to him, and obviously I was like, I can't believe I mean Steve Hislop.
Oh no, you mean like.
Yeah. I was a fat grower, and he put his hand on me. He says, "I heard you're all right on a bike." I was like, "I'll take that."
Yeah,
Any day of the week, nice one.
Yeah.
That's made my night. Yeah.
I remember the first time I met you properly was walking down Saturday Marks and Spencer's down the lane there, and you were coming up. I was heading down, and we stopped and we were chatting, and we were talking about Steve. That was
Yeah.
he was to talk to him, and then he met him and everything. But yes,
Yeah, it all comes from just like watching these guys as a kid, which it's only for me it's a power of the event, you know, TT, Max Grand Prix, you know, more so TT. So that's where I worship those sort of guys that are, you know, idolise. I want to be a TT rider as a kid, and
yeah.
you know, in today's world of like the TT, and we've almost got a responsibility to you know, offer time out to families and, you know, fans and
Yeah,
anyone who's
Schools
making an effort to support us. You know, it all helps, because that's how I, looking back, these were role models to me.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I looked up to them, so I want to be like them one day. You just don't know who you're talking to, do you?
No.
Can I tell you my LVF story from when they raced together? Because we used to go to, the old man used to take us to Rencullen, I guess it's Rencullen 1, which is this sort of right hand over front wheel up, and there's the 30 sign, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you used to be able to sit on the hedge on the left, I suppose on the left for the biker, and we used to go and sit on that hedge. There's a house there, isn't there now? But you'd sit on the hedge, feet on the curb, and then I remember them coming around with my old man, and yeah, they were landing 2 feet away from you at whatever, 130 there, 140, isn't it? And the pair of them side by side,
Yeah,
as you described, probably later on at May Hill where you
Yeah.
yeah, watching them was
yeah. But you knew Hizzy as well, didn't you? Because when we
I met him a few times, yeah.
we used to go to the cul-de-sac, didn't we? When the
Yeah.
fiddly D bands and everything were on there. We used to get up and
joint on it.
yeah. We used to have bands on a Saturday night.
Yeah, it was down to it. I mean, as a young lad, you know, again, I don't like kind of looking down, I'd be looking up. But it was just down, you know, just like, like most people ultimately, aren't they?
Yeah.
Just rounded people, aren't
Just
they?
the same as us,
Yeah.
But a lot faster.
So I'll flipping back a little bit then, obviously, to business now, if I'm right to do that. Like, what was obviously I know how you got into it, but what, so just people who listen, what is it you actually do?
I manufacture and supply and fit fibrous cornice, so stuff goes around the ceiling.
Oh, yes.
So we do ornate stuff, but we do a lot of restoration as well. So anything that's 200 years old, I can replicate and make it look like it's always been there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like I said, we did a lot of National Trust work in the UK, up and down the country, and you have to do things in those properties from scratch. I think would have been done originally, so they're all lath and plaster. Do all that and then hand run the mouldings around the ceiling, so it's messy. But most of the stuff now is in a set mould, so somebody comes in, wants 2 or 3 rooms doing, they pick something that I can make, pour in a mould.
Yeah. So how long have you been going?
1995 I started. We got Dad had retired. When we went back to York, he retired, and then he bought a place just outside York again, and then we didn't sell the house over here, so I think he was in between knowing what he wanted to do, whether he wanted to stay here or move back to York. So anyway, I came back, and he decided he was coming back as well, so we sold the house over there, came back here, and I said, look, I'm going to set the business up doing what we've been doing with my uncle, Dad's brother. So we got a unit in Castle Hill, which was Victoria Road. It's all down from the grandstand. It's now flats, just for all the arches.
Okay, yeah.
Down to the arches there. So and that was handy for when I was still racing, because morning or even practice after, just ride the bike straight down into the workshop, and it was that handy that Paul Bird we had one night before, and so I've got a workshop in thing, and goes, oh, is there much room in it? I said, yes, it's huge. So he said, could we use it for TT? So there's enough room for me and them, and they'll still carry on working in there. So that's where for the next 3 years they used the workshop as well. So that's where John McGuinness first came.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it was I've got Graham Bird, he was top bloke, and John and all the lads. It was just but again, it's that circus thing was the whole big loft house thing and all that was all.
Yeah. You're rubbing shoulders with these guys, and
Yeah. Any spare part, any parts that come and stuff like this. Obviously, John was riding that Vimto Honda, wasn't he? So
Yeah.
but
See what was lying around.
But the only thing that was lying around was cans of Vimto. We got plenty of that. But no, it's still great times. It was some great laughs.
And you're running the business on your own now.
Yeah, still my own. Yeah. Well, I had some lads working for me, but it's just easier to do things on your own. But yeah, so 30 years now.
yeah.
For those you mentioned before that, Conor, watching, but if you're listening, certainly check it out. 'Cause, Ian bought in his helmet from back in the race day, which is proper retro, isn't it?
Yeah, that was the newcomers Max Grand Prix in '93. That was that helmet.
Yeah.
It's definitely stand out. I mean, when you're tucked in, that's what you're going to see, isn't it?
Yeah.
Someone is watching for you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Family
okay.
and friends watching at your
Oh, okay.
field.
Yeah. No, it's
So you did say, is the colours, did you say the design, do what you want, or you said, these are my leathers, match it in kind
yeah,
of?
kind of, yeah, with the leathers, yeah. Hizzy gave me a set of his Cushiatanis that he used at Macau, so they'd only been worn once, so they kind of matched to a point that.
You got to look good on the bike, don't you?
Going on, yeah, in the paddock.
Cushiatani, though, they're like an iconic brand. Leather
Great,
brand.
yeah, they were brilliant, yeah.
They're still, I mean, they're quite prominent now.
Oh, they still
Yeah.
get them, yeah.
I'm sure they've got lads in like GPs.
Right, yeah.
In fact, I think Ian Lockett, he had a
Right.
he was sponsored by Cushiatani recently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever do anything with Ian at all? Do you know?
Yeah, I know him well, yeah. Again, going back, for years, it's really nice bloke, when they did the Hizzy Manx Grand Prix tribute thing, was it 5 years ago, 6 years ago, something like that. So the meal in the VIP we call it the hospitality suite
Yeah.
thing. So they had guests and they had a ride on each table. And then, was it Charlie Williams was the compere, I think. And he'd bring them up and talk to each thing and all that. And the last person to be brought up onto the stage to talk was Foggy. So he gets up and he's going on and on. And it was all me, this, me, that, me, the other. You know, and Ian Locke was sat behind me on the table behind us, and I'm Hizzy's mum and Polly George and a few others, and the next thing I went on the back, turned around, and Locke has got tablecloth, the white tablecloth. He's gone like that.
Waving the white flag. That's all him.
I know he's a good laugh, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's a really nice bloke.
Good crack.
Yeah. And obviously he was they were the first three and the newcomers. That his newcomer year was was 84. I think it was 84, 83, 84. So it was Locker, Hizzy and Robert Dunlop.
Not bad crowd.
In that.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad crowd, is it?
You know, you mentioned Peter Neal before.
Mm.
So that's, again, aside from the racing, that's a good memory as well from years gone by. It's like that commentary team of Peter Neal, main anchor man at the grandstand,
Jeff Cannell,
Maurice Maudsley, and Fred Clark.
Yeah.
Just you listen to stuff like you can search on YouTube. I think it's like races of old, and just to hear those voices is really, really cool. Makes a hair stand up on the back of your neck. Like really, just they were just amazing.
They were brilliant. Yeah. And that was it was handy for me because that's when we moved in the next door to Peter and Brenda. He said call us Uncle Peter, Auntie Brenda. So Peter was my sister's godfather. With him being at Banks Radio, he had a lot of sports people coming over all the time. So there was one time I was out playing, so I missed it. But Kevin Keegan was over, and brother both lived was a York City fan, really. But so Peter come next door, come in the house. He said, "The boys about," and Mum said, Stevens said, "We'd like to come and meet somebody." So Stephen said, yeah, we'd love to, yeah. So he walks into Peter's house, there's Kevin Keegan. And then so when I came back from playing, so I met Kevin Keegan, so mate. But yeah, it was and my first year at the Manx, that was the Villarina going to get your awards, like bigging me up properly, it was like it's when the sixth finish in this race, set the fastest lap of the race, the 103.7 whatever it was. He led the race until Governor's Bridge on the last lap, and made a big sort of thing for us. Got a video somewhere, but I haven't got a video playing. But yeah, it was
Good. Did you all go?
Yeah, other one bloody pushing it in that far.
God, yeah, it was. But I was still from my accident. I still wasn't walking properly. So yes, it's also only 250, and the light it's half a mile. If anyone wants to know, it's all Wilder's dip. So there's that line in this, red hot day. Yeah. But I remember Jeff Keller was standing there with a microphone and across the line, and he said, whatever it was, it would have half a litre would have done some egg cut forward have done. But at least I've followed in the footsteps of my hero George Formby.
I got a quick question, and again, I appreciate my other question about the move down, but I know I always remember this story because we used to go out drinking, and then I remember one day, I think it was that our mutual friend said to me, that's his brother, and your brother Raz was obviously well known around the Alabama for his crazy hair and being around bushes, and working in bushes for years and years, didn't he? And
he did.
I knew you for a number of years, and I just couldn't correlate the two of you.
No.
Just very different characters.
Yeah, well, he got all the hair, didn't he?
He stole the family hair.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously you lost him quite like that, basically.
Yeah.
This year.
Yeah.
Imagine, well, obviously it was a tough time.
Yeah, it was shocking. I mean, I lost Dad 3 years ago, Mum last year, and now Raz this year. So as well as 2 dogs in between.
Yeah, right.
Dogs, shouldn't say it, should you? But dogs are with you all the time. You're a dog person, aren't you? And it's like it's like it's a proper bond with them. So yeah, Dad was killed in Thailand. He moved out there 23 years ago now, but he was doing a bit of a motorcycle tour thing. So he got involved with a couple of lads out there, and they took tours. So lads would go over and they take them around northern Thailand. But he got knocked off, T-boned by a woman in the car. So but he's 83, but still fit as a fiddle, and you know he was ride a bike all day long. But when I go out there, we go on like from city to city, all injuries. Just I can't ride a bike. Like I said before, I'm not a road bike rider, so I didn't enjoy it. But yeah, so that was a bit of a shock. But yeah, but Raz was my sister had taken to the doctors a few years ago, and the funny story was, you know, the ironic story. And the doctor said, look, they don't test everything. You need to eat more vegetables and watch your diet. And he goes, more vegetables? I can do that. I'll eat more bags of crisps because they're potatoes. You know, that was just his. You know, we're never going to change him. So, but yeah, unfortunately, he had a heart attack at a music gig in Blackpool. Blackpool.
I'm sure if anybody wanted to go, that'd be
massive
into his music.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
What age was he?
61.
Right. Okay.
But we go to a punk festival every year. He used to go to in Pike with my mates called Rebellion. So it's pure punk. So it's some of it's quite hardcore, but there's a lot of, you know, like Stranglers and things like that. The Shot 69 aren't too punky, but Raz would go to them every year. He knew loads of bands and everything there. So this year was like, because he died 3 weeks earlier. The tributes from bands on the stage dedicated songs to him. Cool. And you get like, you know, in a ballroom you get like 4,000, 5,000 people watching. So the bands that, you know, sort of remembered him, that was nice. That was top and touch. I thought I was the popular brother.
Well, yeah, you got that idea from.
Well, the funeral was like it was. Never seen so many people.
Right.
It was.
If you don't want to, you have to get him back to the island, did you?
Yeah. Not bring him back here.
Struggle as well, just more stress in it.
Yeah. It's just like every year for the last 5 years has been something. But,
and if I struggled to correlate you when I told you your brother, the other one was when I did find out the type of dog she got, and again I couldn't. The McVeighty I knew I couldn't correlate with the
working on
hours.
Dawn was 15 years with 2 hours.
Yeah. Just couldn't correlate the two things together.
No, but
the onion of McVeighty gets peeled back. And,
no. But to be fair, they were, I mean, the best dogs I've ever had.
Right.
You know, the personalities of the little dog are just, we've always had Labradors and things before, but yeah, they were ace.
Yeah.
So
you're not getting forced to get animals.
We got a dog.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Who wanted that?
Well, crikey. We had a little black Labrador, and unfortunately he got ran over. We're all pup, and so like that was in I want to say October, a few years back, and then like we love dogs. We've got to get we got a black retriever, like a long haired, and just it was almost it's hard to describe. It's like almost in tribute of the how he got run over. Just to sort of get his, you know, just to remember him. So we got this black retriever, Betsy.
Right.
Absolutely crackers.
Shots. Yeah. Retrievers are, aren't they?
Cracks, like so. But we just love dogs. They're good for our family, you know. And they're good to have around.
They are, yeah. I couldn't go through it again. That for me, that was I had a Labrador years ago, but I ended up with the Chihuahua with my ex-play up. But now my girlfriend now, Sam, she's got a Cocker Spaniel, so it's still got a dog as such, you know, but not mine.
Yeah. So terrific when you lose them.
Yeah. Terrific. It is, yeah. You've had loads of years, right?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
Good to reminisce.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Think about the great memory cells.
It is, yeah, yeah.
So you just stay away from the TT now?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go into it too much, but for me, when the government got involved, that kind of ruined it for me. The whole thing was too many people on the payroll. And I just felt this TM was voluntary. Everything was when I first started as TM. The only people got paid were the clerk of the course, chief medics, and flagmen. With the white coats back then, you know, so they got paid. So that was all got paid. So when you know you're all in there doing it as voluntary and you're all, you know, for the greater cause, then when the government got involved and there's so many people in that department that are getting paid, so it's got to make a little bit of money to pay their salaries alone. And I just felt, why am I doing this for free when it's costing me money to close the business down for 2 weeks of the year? They've got holidays out of that as well, so it just didn't sit good with me after a while. So
But also imagine being and racing in that. Like humans, we don't particularly like change, do we, as well? So you've got obviously a sense in the conversation today. There's that traditional sense, the 250, everything that says tradition, and it has moved on for good or bad, whatever people view. So,
yeah, 100%. Yeah, I kind of found I was sat at the side of the road waiting for a call on the radio, you know, but not even watching, you know, and I was like, you should be looking to see further than hanging off, or, you know, and I just, it got to the point where I just wasn't interested anymore. And when I get a call, last thing I want to do is go fast on the bike again, you know, and I said I knew that was it, was time to call it a day, but I did pack in 2010, in 2010, John McBride crashed in front of me. One of the other travelling marshals. We're coming in from for lunch. The 600, the stock 600 had been on in the morning, and Bruce answered to be needing it. He ran out of fuel at the Brandywell, because it's not Brandywell, it's the Brandywell.
I'm going to tap into that. I can't find out more about that.
Say it was Tate's Cottage, isn't it? It's not Kate's Cottage. It was actually Tate's. So it's going to change. But Ned Bowers was bringing Bruce back. He got a bit of fuel off a Spectator and we just touring back. So we'd had the call come back. John was at Parliament Square and I was at the Gooseneck. So as John came past, I was still put my helmet on. And so put my helmet on, put my gloves on, set off. Go on to the mountain mile. I could see John towards the end of the mountain mile. Anyway, I caught him coming up Halewood Rise. So not going crazy fast. That's the only time you get to have a little bit of a run, you know, going out after lunch. You might be at the Brandywell. 3/4 of a lap, so it's good to get, you know, dialed in and everything in case you do have to go to something. So I caught John and sat behind him, and then caught Ned with Bruce behind him coming into the windy corner. So I thought John would probably just sit behind him, we're all going together. But he went past, there's no point in me sitting with them pair, so I went with John. And we got to the right kick before Keppelgate. I don't remember, they put shell grip on it one year, and it had a bit of a step. Right. If you notice when you're racing or not, but in practice week I'd hit a false neutral there.
Right.
You changed to third, ready for Keppelgate through there. I mean, that's looking. So I missed a gear, and it's stomping it into a gear, isn't it? It's like it's
crunch.
I feel like gearbox is going to go everywhere. So I was aware of that. And then, so John was about 50 yards in front of me, and I'm watching him, and he did exactly the same as what I'd done. And he had the new suits. Obviously, bike speeds up, doesn't he? He can't. You've got to count as a brake. Yeah. So he sort of tipped into the left at Keppelgate, and then he says on the brakes. He lost the front. He was through the air. So, from that he was given a 1% chance of survival. So they got him to Nobles, flew him straight across to Liverpool, and by chance, 3 leading heart specialists in the world were at a conference. So then he saved his life.
Wow.
All of that, and he had a blood clot. He severed his artery, but he had a blood clot, so that saved his life as well. But so thankfully he's still with us. But but that affected me, and I didn't think it had done. But at the Manx that year, couldn't concentrate. I was all over the road and really running into drifting wide into walls and like the K tree right there. I was in the wall around, so I don't want you. I was shouting at myself, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
And I knew something was wrong. So after practice week, I said to Dick Cassidy, who was chief DL, I said, "Look, I'm not right. Something not right with me." A lot of people say that. That's not just
Telling you for years.
Yeah, he didn't listen. So I said, "Look, I'll do race week, but that's be done then." So he said, "Well," he said, "you might still have to go, to sub." I said, "Well, that's fine. So, but it's going to be the grandstand. There's less chance, if that's all right." So I spent most of that's all the grandstand. And he went to the doctors a bit after that. He said, "Look, you've got depression." So so I had 2 years off, and then it was possibly back then for whatever reason. They had to ask me to come back, so I went back in 2014 for the not 13 for 2 years till 2016. I backed in, so for 3 years, and I was, like I said, then it was I was fine there, finding the bike again. Wasn't a problem. I just got fed up of being on the bike really. And again, I've really watched, yeah. But it goes from as a kid, saying going back to when me and brother used to go and watch Billy Moore practices. You go to school, come home, go out and watch practices in the evening, go watch races. And that was great as a kid. You got your radio on the hedge and you're listening, and then to do the Manx, it's like when you're on the bike, you haven't got the radio anymore, have you? Yeah. You've got boards saying, and my boards in my newcomers race was, you start doubting the boards as well. It's like plus 45, first plus 45, and they're like, is that 0.45? Or, because you haven't got the radio to listen to tell you where you are. So to do the Manx, then do the TT, and then be a travel master, I've done everything. There's nothing left for me. To go back and sit on the hedge just doesn't appeal to me.
That's fair enough, isn't it?
Yeah. My workshop's in Union Mills, in Universal Industrial Estate, so it's literally 50 yards from the road, and I don't even go out and watch them go past the thing. It's, I'm not on the radio, I'll still on the radio, but no interest in watching it anymore. But yeah, great times when they were when you're involved, isn't it? But racing and everything, but everything comes to an end, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's better known, isn't it? And knowing there's comfort in the fact that I've done all this now, and I can park it, and I mean, move on, like. Yeah, I mean, obviously some of them still, that Jim Hunter's been travelling master since Agostino's racing. But he's still dead keen, and you've got to be keen, you've got to be interested in bikes and things, and especially what the job of a TM involves is there's a lot of stuff that I think it takes genuinely, I think it takes a special sort of person to do that, and also the marshals who stood at the side of the track.
Definitely.
Who, I've got to be honest, everyone who's looked after me, whether I've broke down or I've slipped off, everyone's just been class, TMs and the Orange Army, as they're called. They do a mega job, actually.
Yeah.
So, fair play.
Yeah, you never rank like the TM ultimately. When you call in action, it's never good, is it?
No.
No.
You basically, just thought about sweeping up the shit, aren't you?
Yeah. It's or even if it's been the rider's fine, sometimes they get and walk away. It does happen, doesn't it? But if the bike's putting any fluids on the road, you're responsible then to make. You've got to be happy that it's dusted properly, and
on a live track.
Yeah, live track, and flagged accordingly. It's so you've got, as you approach the scene, sometimes it's flagged too far back. You'll have seen it yourself. It's like it's flagged.
Yeah.
Far too far, too soon.
Yeah.
And then because you're like way yellow, so you slow it down and prepare to stop, and then there's nothing next corner. There's nothing, and then you get to it, it's like you've lost so much time, haven't you?
Yeah.
So you've got to be, you'd advise to bring first flag in or whatever, or first flag just station be yellow, or to manage this thing. So it's right for them boys to come through. And
Just have your replicas out at home.
I give everything away.
What did you do?
Yeah, when I finish racing, I give everything away. I kind of close the door on. I don't like trophies. I never like trophies on display. It just to me, it just looks. I don't know, it just looks dacky. I've got 2 pictures on the wall. One of me painting of Ren Cullen, and the other one's Hizzy. Not spot to carry, but that's all I've got. Motorcycle wise in the place. They're all in cupboards. Sold a load of with the TMT, you get a new helmet every year as well. So, but when I packed in, I sold them all. I bar about 3. So, who needs 15, 16 helmets? Well, I suppose you have your.
Yeah, I was going to say, I suspect this could be the answer to that.
That's offensive, that.
You say about replicas and stuff, I'm like just starting to sneak a few more into the house. My wife Dan, she's so like really supportive, but yeah, I'm only just trying to chance them down. There's another one just appeared.
Yeah, just slowly bring them in.
Yeah.
So you don't notice.
Hopefully we get count.
Yeah, the Hizzy was the same. Like, obviously, he had loads from British Championships, and TTs, and everything. And I suppose it's probably from that, because like once a year, we'd end up polishing his trophies. So that's probably why I don't mind them. It's a boring job, isn't it? God.
I wouldn't know. Let's try it. Cool.
Yeah, spot on. Well, thanks again for your time.
No, thanks for having me. Thanks, it's been great. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, thanks Ian. It's done. Thanks, James.
Yeah,
thanks
been
for
good.
your time.
Thanks.
Cheers. Thanks.
4 flimsy humans. Don't you wish you were flawless like me? A towering inferno of physical perfection?
I hate to pop your blimp-like ego, but you're not perfect.